Okay, hello students. So this is my first class on ICT EPC 3. So in this class I'm going to discuss about this all concept. I'm just touching over all this concept that is in your unit 1. Okay. So we'll start with information and communication technology in education. So we'll start with what is data. Data are basically raw facts. It is meaningless. Correct. Like we are collecting your data, your attendance, and that is meaningless. But after collecting that attendance, when you put the attendance of collected from all the professors into a single sheet and calculate your attendance percentage, then that data becomes meaningful. So if I say this one 20, 12, 20, this data is meaningless. This can be my account number, this can be somebody's salary, this can be some bank account number. So this data is meaningless. So data is basically meaningless unless until it is processed to make something meaningful from it. Okay, now this 20, 12 and 20, this is data. But when I write 20 slash 12 slash 20, now it has a particular meaning. This is called data. So information is basically processed data. When you process data, this becomes information. Information is processed data. Information is processed data. So what is the processing? The processing is here like this one. I'm just writing 20, 12, 20. So this is about information, correct? So next comes the definition of ICT. Lots of definitions are there. I'm just going to discuss one. The UK National Curriculum Document in 2020 defines ICT as a technology used to handle information and communication. So this is the simple definition of ICT. Other definitions are also there that you can read. So what is ICT? ICT stands for Information and Communication Technology, which include newer digital technologies such as computer and internet, which are potential powerful tools for educational change and reform. So that is the concept of ICT. Like we are taking class now online. Now 20 years back that was not possible. Correct. Now 20 years back you will be giving examination sitting at home. That was also not possible. But your seniors gave that in that way. So this is the power of IT, and you need to add this power in education also. That is the concept of studying this subject ICT and how you can use the power of IT in education. So what are the viewpoints? There is an important quote by Mr. Kofi Annan, the ex-Secretary General of United Nations. He told that ICT provide an array of powerful tools which may help in transforming the present isolated teacher-centric and text-bound classroom into rich, student-focused, interactive knowledge environment. So this is the viewpoint. Initially, the teacher is the source of knowledge, but now this is not the only source. You can learn from the teacher, but if you don't understand it well, you can switch to other resources also. Suppose I'm teaching you some topic in mathematics. If you don't understand that one, you'll go to YouTube and play the similar kind of video and can learn it. So now the focus has been changed. Initially it was teacher centric. You will be looking at the teacher to know everything, but it is not now. It is about interactive knowledge and more student oriented, correct? So this is the paradigm shift. First it was the factory model of education, now it becomes the broadcast model of education. Now initially it was teacher centered learning, the teacher is the boss, teacher will teach you. Now it is learner centered. Now I can give you the video lectures, I can give you the slide. I am ready with my documents. Now it is your turn to read it, correct? Now it is your responsibility. that is not my responsibility. My task is to provide you the resources. Now you need to come forward to use those resources. Now ball is in your court. So this is learner centered learning. The paradigm is shift. And the concept of broadcast model. Broadcast model means like Facebook, like mail, Gmail. Gmail is not about broadcasting. If I send you a mail, that will go to you. But Facebook is similar, a kind of broadcast, correct? I am eating here, I am traveling now. So whatever is you are doing, you can broadcast it to Facebook and everybody can watch it. But in mail, that is a secrecy. So learning resources. So traditional medium, what is the traditional medium? It was lectures, it was books. So the professor come to class and the teacher comes to class and say, open your copy, start writing. This is the book. Go to library. In library there are 4 books. You have a limitation of collecting data from 4 books only. But in ICT medium, these are computers, multimedia, internet, lectures, books, lots of books are there. Now you can refer to this site. Now you can refer to this site to pdfdrive.net. Lots of books are there, free books are there, pdfdrive.net. So you don't have to rely on college library for these 4 books. You can go to this site and every second 300 books, 400 books are uploaded into this site. So you can go there and can download any book that you want. So this is the power of ICT medium. Now 20th century versus 21st century classroom. 20th century classroom was teacher centered. Now this is student centered. This was passive learning. This is active learning. This is textbook driven and this one is research driven. Textbook driven means, suppose I am giving you a simple problem, find the difference between RAM and ROM. Okay, for that you need to read the book, the chapter of RAM and ROM, and then you can write the difference. It will take around say 30 minutes, 40 minutes. But now you will go to internet and will type difference between RAM and ROM. You will find hundreds of links where some links are correct, some links are wrong. Now from your understanding you need to choose the particular link that clearly depicts the difference between RAM and ROM. So that is the concept of research driven. So in this case, learner works in isolation, but in this case the learner works in collaboration. Collaboration means, suppose I gave you 5 problems. Now you can divide these 5 problems between your 5 friends. Now each of one is approaching one problem, and at the end of the session, suppose after 1 hour, you will find that the 5 problems are solved by 5 individual students, and together they are collaborating, they are transmitting, they are sharing that knowledge to a common platform, and after 1 hour 5 students all have these 5 solutions, though they approached a single problem. So this is the power of collaboration. So you can read this. Next is the ICT literacy level. The first one is that literacy level 1, you should know the power of ICT. Like, great. Now I am learning how to use Google Meet. I'm learning how to use Google Meet. Just learning. I'm just learning how to use Google Meet. So this is the power of ICT. And you are in the level 1. Now what is in level 2? See, using Google Meet, in my last class, I collected your attendance. So what I did, I use a Google form. So this is the next level of literacy. And what is the level 3? See, I am using Google form to take an MCQ examination. Correct? So this is the level 3. So from level 1, you just learn how to use that tool. In level 2, you are collaborating Google Meet with Google Form. That is, the level 2, and in level 3 what you are doing? You are doing Google Meet, Google Meet, okay, plus Google Form, because I will be collecting your attendance, plus I am Google Form in MCQ format. Great. So this is the last level of uh, ICT literacy level. Okay. Next one is the modern philosophy of education. It is uh, what he learns, when he learns, where he learns, and how he learns. Now you can learn anything while you are traveling, correct? So that is the best power of ICT. Technology will not have a significant impact on students' learning until teachers change the way they teach. So it all depends on the teacher, how the teacher is going to teach a student with the aid of this new technology. Next is why ICT in education? Because paradigm is shift. Now things are changing. Now colleges are closed, but classes are not closed. Now I need to communicate with my students. How can I communicate with my students? The only way is I need to take the help of IT. In every sphere I am using IT, like I'm paying my electric bill, I am checking with the checking my uh, bank balance using internet. I am I'm buying some things from Flipkart and Amazon. So why we are not using IT into education? I'm booking a car through Ola and Uber. I'm ordering food through Zomato or Swiggy. So why cannot I use this power of IT into education? So this is the concept of IT in education. And this one is the picture, the graphic picture. The ICT focus for the teachers now offers new ways of teaching the same thing. Imagine in say 20 years back, the teacher come into college, come into class, and is to draw a picture. This is the picture of how the cloud is formed. Now we'll be teaching the same thing but with some animations. That is the concept of offers new ways of teaching the same things. Next one is save time in lesson planning and administration. Now I do everything online. Whatever I am teaching, I do documentation online in the Google Classroom. So if anybody asks me, I can open that file and give it to the principal, sir. See, this is the things I have taken day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. So lesson planning is more organized now. And this is the from the focus of learners. Now developing collaborative and team working skill, offering personal approaches to learning. Now you use computer to communicate with your teacher. Like a simple example, many of my students, when they're stuck in doing some problem in their computer, they immediately send me a mail, sir, I stuck into this problem, can you solve it? Imagine, maybe suppose we are meeting after 1 week, correct? So we stuck to a particular problem and now you have to wait 1 week to solve the problem. Now that is not the case at present. At present you will immediately send me a mail and I'll get a solution within 2-3 days. So that is the concept of new approach. That's the learners now are taking this kind of approach of learning. Next is ICT tools. ICT tools are MS Office package. Like I'm preparing this slide using PowerPoint. There is a blog. In my blog, all my assignments will be uploaded. I'm communicating with through emails, my lectures and videos. Video conferencing is possible with Google Meet. Educational resources are digital library, ebooks, electronic publications that I gave you in form of pdfdrive.net. So lots of things are there that are part of ICT tools. So elements of ICT in education. What are the 6 important elements? The important elements are teacher, everybody is aware of it, learner, the students, the curriculum, the syllabus, what you are learning. Next is the educational policy. Now, what is the educational policy? Suppose I am learning something from online and my organization says we don't recognize this online learning. We don't recognize this kind of digital learning. So what will happen to your qualification, your knowledge upgradation? So educational policies should be straightforward and should recognize your effort of self-learning, correct? And government is working in that way. Within few years you will find that you can do engineering online. Suppose some subjects, not all the subjects, correct? Mechanical engineering not possible, electronics engineering not possible. Some part of computer science engineering, now you can do sitting at home. Okay, next one is educational information services and the infrastructure. That is the most critical one, infrastructure. Till we start with this 4G internet connectivity. Internet is not spread everywhere in India, and the infrastructure is also not ready. In many government college, schools and colleges, you will find that there are few computers are available. Many schools are available in India where students are sitting in front of open air, in open air and under the tree. They are taking classes. So infrastructure development is very important. Next one is the scope of ICT. So the scope of ICT has 5 things: TL process, teaching learning process, publication, evaluation, research and administration. So what is the teaching learning process? See, there are 5 senses that you can use to learn something new. But it has been observed that if you see something visually, that gives you a deeper impact, correct? Now when I was in say class 3 and class 4, I have no idea about how a penguin walk like a human. How can a penguin walk like a human? No concept of penguin. When I see the picture of penguin, I cannot relate how a penguin can walk like a human. But my son will go to YouTube and press penguin and search, can see the video of penguin walking like a human. The doubt is cleared within 2-3 minutes. So this is the impact of visual learning, correct? So how to enrich the presentation? There are text matter presentation, animations, graphic presentations, audio presentation, video presentation. In my slides, in my video lectures, I am using all. This is a video, I am recording my audio, graphic presentations, some pictures are there, animations, that is also there. Text matter, I am writing something there, that is the text matter presentation. So this is all are now integral part of ICT learning. Next is the scope of ICT in education that you can read. The television broadcast is one of the best communication media to educate students, farmers and sportsmen. And LCD projectors can be used for effective learning. So these are the things. In many schools, many colleges, now the teacher comes, they connect their laptop to the LCD projectors and the screen becomes big and everybody get an idea about this subject, and this help of this LCD, the videos, the sound played from that computer is visible to all the students. Television broadcast, in many channels you can find from 6 a.m. or say from 7 a.m. before the farmer goes to the field, they learn something from that medium, like what is the temperature today, there is a forecast of any kind of rain, or experts are giving suggestions how to deal with this kind of pesticides, like this. Many channels are there. So this is about classroom now becomes online classroom, correct? Next one is publication. The notes printed, publication means many ebooks are available on websites developed by different publishers that you can go there and can download it. Now, like suppose you want to buy a book of Chetan Bhagat, it will cost around 150 rupees. But you can download the same book from Amazon Kindle from say 75 rupees. That will be a PDF book and you can read it from your device. So books now becomes PDF books. Now how the concept of examination? So you can give an examination online test. The results are published, feedback, software, progress report. Though these are not in the sequence, but I am saying that you can give online test to assess to assess your development of learning. That is possible. Same research, you can use Google, search engines, e-libraries, internet Wikipedia. Suppose if I give you a homework, prepare a slide on this ICT. You can go to Google, you will go to search engine, you will go to lots of e-libraries, blogs, and can make the slide, related slide. Use of ICT in day-to-day life of students and teachers. So these are some points given. Teachers use ICT in research for preparing teaching material, participate in online forums and online conferences, and these are the points are given. How ICT is being used very effectively. Flexibility to study where, when and how best suits individual need and performance. Correct. Wider access to learning and participation. Suppose I am giving you a live class and you are traveling from Howrah to NGP. If the internet is there, you can take that live classes. Suppose you are sitting in the airport and you need to take a flight for Tripura. Checking is over and the class duration is 1 hour. If you are interested, you can go to a particular channel and can access to the class teacher. So you are not in the classroom, you are in the airport, but you can access the lectures whenever you want. This is the flexibility of study, flexibility to study where, when and how. Advantages of ICT in lessons. These are the points. These are basically for questions come in the form of theoretical way. What are the advantages of using ICT in lessons? Write this. Advantages of the uses of ICT in education. These are the points. Again, this kind of question will come and write this straight. So today what we learned? We have basically learned the basic concept of what is data, what is information, how data is converted into information, why we should use IT in education, what are the advantages of IT in education, how the paradigm is shift, correct? What are the different learning resources, the 20th century classroom versus 21st century classroom, and what are the elements of ICT in education. These are the main things that we learned today. How can you learn it in the best way? The best way you can learn this is go through this video, go through my slide from the classroom, download it, play the video at least 2-3 times, then you'll get an idea of this, and then you can read any book you want according to your syllabus. Lots of books are there, then you'll get an idea about this topic. Okay, thank you.